Well, hello, I am Wilma Sorrell. I'm the coordinator for the Washington County Heartland Youth Coalition, and today I have Amanda Cox. She is a junior at Washington County High School, and today we're going to talk about what the Washington County Heartland Youth Coalition does in Washington County and in Springfield and in the schools. And we're going to also talk about some upcoming events. Tell us what's going on right now with the Rise Youth.
Well, the start of the new school year, we first started our meetings, and I haven't been to any of them yet because of I've been playing golf for the high school, so I'm going to start coming to those as soon as I can. But I'm not entirely sure what events are coming up yet because of my absence. But
yep. Well, we can tell you.
Okay.
Right now, we have our Rise Youth meetings the 2nd and 4th Wednesday of every month.
Right.
And Amanda, of course, like a lot of students, have extracurricular activities, but they always do check in by email or emailing me or by texting. They all have my phone number. So I get a lot of text messages. What are we doing next, Miss Wilma? Well, right now we're trying to work on a date where we can have maybe like a cookout with the kids to kick off this coming year. We will be working on some strategies like Red Ribbon Week that's coming up in October. Some of our kids are coming up with some events that will gear us around Red Ribbon Week in October, like throwing out some t-shirts and at the home football game on October the 19th. Some other things that are coming up with the Rise Youth are some of the videotapings and with Channel 6 and just membership drive for the coalition, and talk a little bit about the luncheons that we have and we invite the youth to.
Well, I think it's about like what, every 3 months,
every other month.
Every other month we have a luncheon at the extension office, and really there we have lunch. It's better than the school lunch. I'll take it over school lunch any day.
I was going to say that, Amanda.
I'm not. Are you sure? Yes. Okay. But anyway, we all eat and we talk about our previous engagements and what's coming up. Pretty much what we do here at the meetings, but it's just some extra time to gather and really talk about what we're getting ready to do and upcoming events. So. Well,
our next lunch in September the 18th, it's on Tuesday from 12 to 1. We're actually going to talk about sustainability, and we're looking at ways to sustain the Washington County Heartland Youth Coalition after our Drug-Free Communities grant funding runs out next October. So that's going to be a huge part of our upcoming meetings, and we want to sustain the Rise Youth and keep those youth groups going. What do you think, Amanda, the importance of this group has been to you and to the other youth that's in it?
I think, well, whenever I joined, I had no idea what I was getting into, but I do not regret it one bit because it is the best thing, I think, because so many youth these days are getting sucked into peer pressure and drugs and alcohol, and I think it's great that there are some youth still out there who want to change that and not be a part of it, and I think it's great that we're here to stand up for all that and try to change something. We're here to make a change, and I think we're doing a really good job at it, but there's still a lot of work to be done.
Mm-hmm. That's what I tell people at every meeting I go to. Sustainability means that there still is a lot of work for us to do, and we need to be here to do that work. And a big part of us is not just the adults leading this effort, is the youth helping us to lead this effort. So when we talk about sustainability, we're not talking about it just from what are we going to be doing as far as programs or whatever. It's trying to help keep the youth focused and raising our youth to be drug-free, work-ready, college-ready citizens, and to be the best citizens that Kentucky has to offer right here in Washington County. Amanda is focused right now. She came to me a couple months ago and wanted to talk about Governor Scholar. So I think that's important as a prevention. She's like, Miss Wilma, I'd like to focus on my Governor Scholar theme in prevention. So what can we do? So I'm going to let Amanda talk about that.
Well, after a lot of planning and researching, Miss Wilma started helping me with stuff like smoke-free ordinance here at the school, and also something called a STAR server training, which I had no idea what that was at the time. So my focus was going to be on the smoke-free ordinance. But then, come to find out, our schools are already smoke-free. So I started focusing on the STAR server training, and what it is, it's if you can elaborate any more if you want to.
Yes, it's responsible server training.
Right. For servers here in Washington County, as you all know, the law, you have to be 20 in order to serve alcohol. So really, you need a lot of training for that. And some counties don't have that training, so that's what the STAR server training is. You go to this training, it's 3.5 to 4 hours long, it's attested. You go through the class, and you're provided with a book, and I think like date stickers and stuff, and it's a really great program, because I went to one of the trainings myself. I didn't test or anything, just to see what it was. And what I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to establish the STAR server training here in Washington County as an ordinance. And I've already talked to various restaurants and also the law enforcement, but there's still a lot of work to be done before we propose this to the City Council. So, but I think it's a great thing, and I think even if it doesn't get passed, I think at least I tried. You know, it's an effort, really. And
well, it's more too, if it doesn't get passed, Amanda has brought a lot of awareness to the businesses, and we're not only just talking about restaurants, we're talking about retail.
Right.
Most youth buy their alcohol or try to buy alcohol from retail, not really restaurants. So we see the need that both sectors get trained on how to identify fake IDs.
Yes, fake IDs, and also, what else am I leaving out? There's a lot of stuff that goes into the training.
Someone that's too drunk.
Intoxication, when you over-serving for the intoxicated.
So it's nice to know that it's okay as a server that you can stop serving someone who looks to be drunk or too drunk, or ask them, do you have someone that we can call, and not to let them get into a car, because we don't want our businesses to be held liable. We don't want them to lose their license. You know, they bring in money to the community, and we want to keep them here. But we also want to protect who, Amanda?
The youth.
The youth of Washington County. We want to protect our youth. So that's one strategy. Amanda, why did you decide to work on that for Governor Scholar? Is that something that you believe in?
It's something that I strongly believe in. The youth of the Washington County is, or not even just Washington County, I mean, it's everywhere. It's nationwide. I mean, there's so many things wrong with the youth these days, and it's only getting worse. So I believe that in order to protect the future of our youth is to try and take a stand and try to actually change something that's worth changing. And it really breaks my heart when youth just throw their future away to do something just for the moment. I really want to change that, and I believe that with all my heart, honestly.
Well, I think it's funny because I see the good in youth, and Amanda's a youth, and she sees what needs to be changed, and what better way to change that than through a youth like Amanda. And but it does take, I think, youth listens to the youth more than they listen to an adult. So I think that that's a very good project that Amanda's working on. And like she said, if it doesn't get passed, we've brought awareness.
Right.
And she has brought awareness.
And that's really the goal here.
Yes.
Also.
Yes.
It would be nice if you get passed, but at least we tried and brought awareness.
And
like
you made some strides in bringing some awareness to the community in that. Amanda, I know you said at church this past weekend they spoke about the Walk for Life. Will you talk about that?
Yes. The House of Hope here in Springfield is hosting a Walk for Life at Idlehour Park. It's going to be, here's a brochure of it. It's going to be Saturday, September the 8th, 2012. I don't know why I said the year. It's going to start at 9:00 a.m. and it's also going to be taking place at St. Rose Church, apparently, and that's going to start at 10 a.m. And
we have Rise Youth actually working on raising funds for this. This is one of their projects, and I know we have several Rise Youth that have already filled up a page of donations. But the money goes to a really good cause. It helps women here in Washington County and men who are raising their families or their children, and they don't have any resources to buy diapers and milk, maybe even buy some clothes, but they can go to Sheila Hergen and get that help if they need to. So you know, it's just such a good thing in our community that we can support in our community. So Amanda, getting back to the Rise Youth, what are some other things throughout the year that you are excited to see happen?
Well, last year was a great year. I got started off a little late, but the things that we did were awesome. Like we've been on in conferences, summits, and Youth Leadership Symposium is also really great.
Talk about that. What are some strategies you learned at Youth Leadership Symposium? And I know we had that in Erlanger this year. What are some of the strategies that we learned and that you all learned as youth that we can bring back and help with some things that we're doing this year?
Well, I think I'm going to speak for all the youth when we say we had to step out of our comfort zone a little bit while hosting this Youth Leadership Symposium, because we were like having to boost our energy and all the other energy, because then we were running it pretty much. So we were coming in the door going, woohoo, yeah, Youth Leadership Symposium. And well, and a lot of us don't feel comfortable talking in front of a lot of people. So I think that exposed us as leaders and definitely helped us a lot, you know, for that leadership exposure. And what else?
Got to meet some high-profile people.
Definitely, the speakers were amazing.
A lot of people from the state. The workshops. What about some of the workshops with traffic safety and texting and driving?
Definitely, they were very insightful. I mean, because we had, you know, everyone's telling you not to do this stuff, and really it just goes through one ear and out the other. But this Youth Leadership Symposium, it tells in a different way to where you have to listen, because it's not being repeated the same way every time. You're actually participating in activities like there was they brought a car kind of simulation for where, and they actually had you pull out your phone. And the minute you pulled out your phone, you would run into a tree or another car or something. So it actually demonstrated the dangers of this.
That was really cool.
It was. I loved that.
And the Kentucky Transportation Department, their highway safety, they brought that, and they have some really good resources that we use a lot here in Washington County to teach our kids, and I say our kids, but our youth, about the dangers of texting and driving, or just distracted driving. You can be distracted by the radio, by eating in your car, or fast food. Yes, a lot of people will ride down the road. Parents, you get distracted by your kids in the back seat. So sometimes it's best to pull over, you know, finish what you're going to do, and then pull back out safely. So we want to make sure we're doing things safely, as well wearing our seatbelts.
Definitely, that's
click it
huge.
or ticket. So our kids don't work just on drug prevention. They work on some other strategies throughout the year. We also have Kick Butts Day coming up in April. November we have Taiwan On. What do we do during Taiwan On in November?
Taiwan On is where it's actually like there's a lot of things we do in that event. We remember the youth who were lost in a drunk driving accidents, and we light candles by their pictures, and it's really a touching moment. And then after, we will go out to the high school, middle school parking lot, and we'll take these ribbons that have Taiwan On event on them, and something else probably, and you tie them, or you put them on their windshield wiper, or you tie them around their antennas, and whenever they go to their car, they'll see that, and you know, it's a good way to spread the message, especially.
I know we have a lot of Rise Youth meetings throughout the year, so we just want to encourage any parent. Amanda, what would you say to a parent if they're looking for something to get their child into?
Well, first of all, I know parents are very, very, right now, in high schools when you really need to start thinking about colleges and scholarships, and this program's definitely a great way, it's a great thing to put on a scholarship, because leadership is definitely a great thing to put on your application. And this is a great way to be able to show leadership, because you learn many strategies and you actually partake in many activities to change our community. And also, it just teaches your kids good values. I mean, if you want your kids to do something good in the community, this is definitely the place to come.
Well, and I think too, our Rise Youth, and me being the coordinator, Isaac being the director, we don't just ask one or two youth to stand up and be leaders. I think we do a really good job about asking everyone that's in the group to stand up and be leaders in something, because if you're a leader, you will probably not follow into the direction of risky behaviors
Definitely.
or decisions, I think. So what do you think about that?
This, we learn a lot of things in this group. I've learned things that I thought I knew everything about drugs, you know, from all the, you know, like things that have been coming in middle school and everything. But this program's definitely made me open my eyes to a lot more, because I've been really naive about youth and like, oh, well, no, you know, people don't do this. And it turns out they do. And when you find out they do, it's kind of heartbreaking. So, you know, you really want to make a change. And
I think it's important that parents know that, just even if it's not the Rise Youth, to get your kids involved in something. I know when my son was in middle school, and at first he was like, Mom, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to drop out of band, and I'm not going to do football. Well, Josh, you need to pick something, and I don't care what it is. If it's football, basketball, band, I don't care. But you will do one thing, and you're going to do it all 4 years of high school.
Definitely staying into something definitely keeps you out of trouble.
Yes.
And you don't have, it's a good thing not to have too much spare time. I've seen it myself with people who have too much spare time, and that just causes trouble. That just leads to trouble.
Right, and I just think it's important for parents to stand up and make sure their kids are involved. And it's up to us, because the kids, they'll tend to more likely want to stay in front of a TV or a video game. But let's get them out and get them involved, get them running, get them, you know, doing something in the community. And volunteer. I think volunteering in the community is something that we have fallen short on. And we try to teach our kids, our Rise Youth kids, that, hey, this is too about volunteering. So they volunteer at different events. Like the Walk for Life, we're going to have a lot of our Rise Youth out there, and they're going to be volunteering, walking around, and or doing their own walk, and then just turning in the money. But I think it's important that we learn to give back as well, because so much has been given to us. Amanda, is there anything else you would like to say in closing about the Heartland Youth Coalition, about supporting it, or?
Well, of course, we always need more youth to participate. So if you are watching this, we definitely need more youth. We can never have enough youth to try and make a difference in this community. And then it's not just making a difference. It also really changes the person you are as well. You get a lot out of this, and it's just a great program, and I support it 100%.
Well, Amanda, thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And I know that you're doing golf right now, and I guess that's going well for you.
Very well. Thank you for asking me. My sister actually going to All-A State this Saturday.
I saw that on the marquee. We actually have a golf champion maybe here.
Hopefully.
So,
fingers crossed.
You know, that's what I'm saying. Just because you're in the Rise Youth doesn't mean you can't do other things.
It's very flexible.
Yes, it is very flexible. And Amanda will text me and say, what do I have to do this week? And so we'll make time to sit down and talk and say, this is what strategies we're working on. So what can you do? How can you add to this? And they're more than welcome. The kids love to be asked to do things, and they're beginning to like getting out of their comfort zone.
Yes, definitely. I've definitely loved speaking in front of people. And
you have grown in the past year since you started this group.
Yes, I have. Like on TV, I've gotten a lot better on TV and doing interviews. So
you have gotten more relaxed. So those are the things that really is neat to see our youth grow and become their own people. And maybe that was something that she would have never done had it not been for this group, and not had the opportunity to do. But it's also been a win-win situation. And we have all of our youth, 90% of our youth are like Amanda. They will give as much as we ask them to give in this group. And we just ask and they come running. What do we do? What do we need to do? So, but Amanda, congratulations on the golf championship.
Thank you.
And you're going to be going to state?
Yes.
Okay. So we expect a trophy to come back to Washington County.
Oh, we'll see, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
If anyone can do it, I think Amanda and her sister can do it. So, but thank you today for joining us for the prevention tactics. And please, if you have any questions about the Heartland Youth Coalition, please give us a call. Isaac and I are at the Board of Education, and adults, kids, youth. We look forward to your support of the Washington County Heartland Youth Coalition. And thank you.